What's up, everybody? Welcome to the fourth Cheapster live show, and we're going to be talking about some of the weekly deals and tips and news from this week. So we've got some stuff, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So some of the news we got this week, I couldn't find much that was super financially related to some of the funny news this week, but this one was pretty funny. This is about a 5-year-old boy that was pulled over by the cops because he wanted to buy a Lamborghini. So I guess the story is he had asked his mom if he could buy a Lamborghini, and she said no. So he just decided, hey, I'm just gonna jump into my mom's car and I'm gonna go get myself a Lamborghini anyway. So this cop actually found him. Apparently, he was swerving. He was driving very slow, which is a good thing because obviously probably not a very good driver at 5. Although I'm surprised that he was even able to get out and drive at all. Kind of impressive. But the cop said he was swerving, so he pulls him over. Of course, they black the kids out, or they black out the kid's face, or I don't know what they're doing here. It kind of looks like they put a snake on his face, but they did something to it to block his privacy because he's a minor. But yeah, apparently he was in Utah and he stole the car to go to California to go buy himself a Lamborghini. So he's definitely not a Chiefster. He does not win the Chiefster Award of the week because he's just going to buy a Lamborghini. I also kind of wonder what was his plans. Like, did he have any money or anything? Was it like was he just planning on like going there and just like, hey, I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini with here's some money that I got from helping my neighbor or mowing a yard or something. I don't know how he thought he was gonna have that kind of money to do it, but he was on his way to do that. So that's what this kid was going to do. It's pretty funny. I think that was in the UK. I'm pretty sure that's what the story was. They were in the UK. But moving on. So this is something very important that I found. This is called howmuchtoiletpaper.com. I was actually trying to find some news to tell you guys about when the toilet paper crisis will come to an end. We're actually kind of having some issues with that now. We are down to our final 2 rolls, so it's getting pretty real for us. We're gonna have to figure out what in the world is going on with this, and if there's something we need to do to be able to get more. Did I say newspaper? Toilet paper. I feel like I just said newspaper. But yeah, so this is a website, howmuchtoiletpaper.com. This is a website that helps you calculate how much toilet paper you need. So this is a good site for anybody who's trying to buy. This actually, outside of this being funny, it's actually just a good site for people to stop the hoarding and stuff because so many people are just hoarding toilet paper and that's causing a lot of issues. So this is a good site to kind of show you, okay, this is how much you need. You don't need like the Costco. I don't even know how big those packs are. I think they're even bigger than 48 sometimes. But people will buy like 2, 3 of those. I know they're finally like limiting people in the past few weeks. But yeah, this is a good website that'll show you how to figure out how much toilet paper you need. So I went ahead and threw my information in here. We got 2 rolls left, looking pretty dangerous. Total visits, I put it in as 2. And then if you want to get into the nitty gritty of the details here, it'll ask you how many number of wipes per trip, sheets per wipe, sheets on a roll, people in your household. The days in quarantine, I'm not sure what that's about, but it doesn't change the number. But this is what we've got. We've got that we will last 38 days on our 2 rolls of toilet paper, which is funny because I don't think we're gonna make it 38 days with those 2 rolls of toilet paper. So maybe I put in some information incorrectly here, but it seems like a very long time to stretch 2 rolls of toilet paper for 2 people when we're just quarantined 24/7 at home. But yeah, if you guys want to know how much toilet paper you need to just survive quarantine, it'll be a good website for you guys to figure that out, see what's going on. So getting into the freebie, we've got Chipotle. Is doing a buy one give one program, and I guess what this was people could have actually before they could have put in 4 heroes as a code to give a burrito to somebody on the front line, so this is healthcare workers and stuff. And now it's actually coming to on Nurses Day, May 6th, which that is today. So happy Nurses Day to everyone. They are giving out free burritos, and I'm pretty sure I actually read that this is extended. It's not just through May 6th anymore. They've actually pushed the time But I know that you can be getting free burritos if you're a nurse. I think it's just healthcare workers. Yeah, healthcare workers across the country can go get a free burrito if you go do this. So check that out and look how you can figure out how you can get your free Chipotle by doing this. I think it's pretty cool that these places are doing this and letting people help other people out who are on the front lines. And then big surprise, another freebie of the week is Wendy's. I've actually talked about them the past 3 weeks, and maybe even been the whole time I've been doing this. That I think they've been in the freebie every single time. And I know I've talked about the free breakfast baconator in the past, but that is because they actually brought it back. So we actually just went and did this the other day. We got our free breakfast baconator sandwich, which let me tell you, that was amazing. It was such a good sandwich. So if you haven't had it, go try it because man, it was so good. And you can try it for free because it actually came back. So we already used it, and now it's back where you can go use it again. Also, if you download their app, they've got just a whole bunch of free things. I know I saw you can get free kids meal. They had a free Frosty Chino, which is their Frosty with a Frappuccino, I guess, mixed together. They got like a $1 six-piece chicken nugget. So they've just got a whole bunch of great deals. Wendy's is really doing some great stuff right now for helping people out and giving great coupons and discounts and stuff. So check into Wendy's. Definitely download their app and check this out because there was so much free stuff. Last week was that free spicy chicken sandwich. And I think that even comes back if you did that. So that might even be something you can get again. But yeah, Wendy's is just awesome for the freebies right now. They're really coming through, giving some cool free stuff and helping people out. So that is really awesome. So those were our freebies, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into some of the financial news of the week. So what we've got today is one of the things I want to talk about is the IRS sent a bunch of the relief checks to people who have died or were dead. This is something I've actually heard from people personally that people receive checks, but apparently this has actually become such a big thing where people have been receiving these checks who weren't supposed to receive them because they are no longer alive, or even with all the stuff that's happening, you have people who are dying from this, obviously, who could be getting sent these, and before all this happens they had already died. So this is actually kind of becoming such a big thing. And one of the main things I want to talk about is this thing, or this article talked a lot about what the IRS was doing about it, and it seemed like they just really weren't doing anything for the longest time. People were asking, "What should we do with this?" and they really just weren't giving any information about it. But it looks like what they finally said is that. Let me go down to the bottom here actually, so I can get the exact information. This is from NPR. They said Wednesday morning after the story first published, the Treasury Department told NPR that payments made to people who died before the payment was received should be returned to the IRS, and it published instructions on its website. So if you're one of those people who has money that you got from the IRS, well, you wouldn't obviously be dead, but if you know somebody or you were uh, taking care of somebody or it's a family member or whatever, and you know that they got that money, I guess you need to go return it, and the instructions will be on the IRS website. I think this is kind of dumb. Like, this kind of upsets me that they're sending these out and then putting the work on the people to say, okay, now you need to go return it. Kind of annoying that they're doing that, but just to make sure this is clear for anyone who did get a check, you're not going to be able to keep that. So don't go use that. Don't go stimulate the economy with that check. You got to send it back. I know. If you don't give enough tax money to the IRS, they're going to give you more money that you got to send back to them. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. So, just wanted to be clear and made sure that nobody has any confusion about that. Because if you spent $1,200, or if you thought it went into the estate and then it went to you or whatever it was, that could cause some issues. So, next thing we got here is LeBron James is going to host a virtual graduation ceremony for a high school class of 2020. This is pretty cool that they're doing this. They're doing this virtual graduation thing, so it's going to be a celebration, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people there. at the thing. It's just going to be really cool. So it says this event will be simulcast across ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, as well as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, and other streaming services. Will include James, Team USA, Star Megan. I don't know who that is. A bunch of people. There's gonna be a musical performance by Bad Bunny, the Jonas Brothers, Pharrell Williams. Just a whole bunch of people are gonna be at this. So I assume this is for anybody that you could watch. So it's not just if you're graduating. Anyone can just watch this stream. I don't see how they would stop anyone else from watching it. So I guess you can enjoy graduation even if you're not graduating. You could just go ahead and watch this. It'd be a fun time. But I think Obama's gonna be speaking there too. So it's like a whole bunch of people uh, that are doing this. So it's going to be really cool. I really like to see that people are stepping up and doing something for the graduating class because I just think back to my graduations and, it would have been really tough to be in this position where, you work all this time, you're like so excited for this, and then everything just is like this, and you don't really get to celebrate. You don't get to celebrate with your family, and of course things can be pushed back, and you can celebrate some other time. But it's not really the same. So seeing people do something like this is really cool. Just because it's actually now, instead of it being like, oh, I missed out, I don't get to have this great celebration I wanted to have. Now it's like, no, you actually get to have like a once in a lifetime opportunity type of celebration that most people didn't get to have. And you just got to look at it on the bright side like that. So for everybody who's graduating, congratulations for graduating. And I hope this is fun for you guys and that you guys can enjoy your celebrations and stuff during this time, even though it's definitely a different time. But yeah, check that out. Like I said, even if you're not graduating, it's just something you can watch and enjoy it. So, moving to the next news, we have Disney has reported a 58% drop in operating income from parks and cruises. This is very big right now. I've heard a lot of stuff going on about the Disney company, just mostly, yeah, their parks are just hit so hard because you think about how many people come through those parks every day and they're just closed down. Also, the cruise lines closed down. It's definitely hitting them pretty big. So I really like how CNBC does things here because it gives you the key points on the article. So I'll go ahead and read those. So the Disney reported mixed results for its quarter two 2020 earnings after the bell on Tuesday. The pandemic has disrupted Disney's theme parks and cruise businesses, but is expected to boost engagement on its streaming services like Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. That is a really big thing. I'm sure Disney Plus is so happy right now, or Disney's so happy that they did Disney Plus right now because that's actually something that's probably growing and is actually better right now because of the fact that everyone's home. So it's probably their lifeline in this time is that they've actually got that Disney Plus and that's growing. I know I saw that they've just had like huge growth in their Disney Plus app and service to be able to stream to people. So I'm sure that's kind of one of their lifelines, but still, you just have to think about all the money that they've lost through not being able to be open in the parks and everything, and the cruises. So yeah, it's just a tough time for Disney, and they're a huge company, and I do want to say I think a lot of people kind of view these companies when stuff like this happens, like, oh, it's Disney, who cares? Disney will come back, like they're fine. And it's not even about like what you think about Disney itself. It's more about just the idea of business. Big business, like a lot of people kind of just think, oh, big business won't be affected by this. That's really not true because a lot of big business, while they make big income, that's why they can be big business. But during this time, if income is cut, that's huge losses that the company's not having with still having all these expenses, and that means laying people off and all these other things. So, it really does mean a lot when a massive, massive company like this is taking a hit like that. So we don't know exactly what's going to come from that, but I do know it's definitely hurting their bottom line right now, and they're having some trouble in the stock market. But that's just kind of what's going on with them right now. But yeah, moving on then actually to the deals of the week. This ties right into what this is about here. We've got Disney is actually doing buy one get one free on their plushes. So if you're interested in buying a Disney plush, also, this helps support Disney during this time, obviously, when they are having so much trouble with all their parks and everything closed. You can buy a plush. So they've got like all kinds of ones. And on their website, it does say ends tonight. I do kind of have a suspicion that they might do this again. Like this might only or this might not be just a one-time thing. They might actually do this again, but of course, you never know that. So if you do have an interest in buying something, especially if you have like a kid's birthday coming up, or maybe you just want to have a Mickey Mouse for yourself. Do whatever you want. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Stitch plush, sure. So you can go ahead and buy one. And oh man, never mind. I would definitely get Olaf for sure. Definitely Olaf. But oh, it's buy one get one free. So yeah, I get Olaf and Stitch. There you go. So yeah, you can go ahead and check into that if you're at all interested in buying some Disney plush toys. They've got a whole ton of them, so that's pretty cool. Definitely going to be good to help probably them make some money, because I'm sure these plush toys probably cost like nothing, probably like 50 cents. It's just the image that really costs the money, so that can help Disney kind of make some money back. Of course, that's real small when you're comparing the parks being closed and everything, but that's something there. Then we've got Sling TV. So you can watch TV with Sling for free right now. So it says stay informed and entertained with thousands of hours of free live and on-demand TV. So this is pretty cool. I haven't actually checked into this as much as I should, because I think I'm going to start this to see what it is. But it says join us daily for even more of the best of live TV with over 50 plus channels free from 5 p.m. to midnight, and they show CNN, HGTV, TBS. So I'm assuming that these are on there because they're showing those. So that's really awesome. I'm definitely going to be checking more into that. That you can get some free TV from 5 p.m. until midnight. I think that's a really cool. They're calling it happy hour across America. That's a really cool idea to do that for people, to give it to them, so it's like kind of a just a short time. And I'm sure that this is going to be great for the company, because then people are going to be like, oh, I want to watch it all the time, or when this is over they'll want to keep watching it and subscribe to the service. But really cool that they're doing that. I'm definitely going to sign up for that and be able to do it for free. I also really love the fact that it says no credit card required, so this isn't one of those things where it's like, okay, you sign up for it and then there's going to be a start date where it costs like whatever it is per month. It's nice that it's just no credit card. There's no strings to this, there's no gimmicks. You can just enjoy it and watch it, and yeah, just totally for free. So really exciting, cool that they're doing that. Really like that. So next thing we've got is Costco. And Costco actually, of course, is big right now with buying things and buying toilet paper and just getting things in bulk. So one of the specials they have running right now, I think this doesn't happen normally. As far as I could tell, I couldn't find where this like happens in the past. I think this is like a pretty cool thing that they're doing now. This is if you become a Costco member, you get a $20 shop card, and that's if you become a Gold Star executive, you get $20. But even if you become a Gold Star member, you can get a $10 card. And this is only for first time Costco members that you can do this. But it's pretty cool that they're doing that, because the Gold Star is not even that much anyway. So getting $10 just pays that membership back right away so quick. I mean, it's more than $10, but it helps you kind of pay it off really quick. And always it's $60 for the Gold Star. So then it just makes it like 50 basically. The Gold Star Executive is 120, so that makes it like 100. So it's really cool that they're doing that. I know I've been a Gold Star executive member in the past, and they actually give you 2%. Yeah, you receive an annual 2% reward up to $1,000 on all your purchases, on eligible purchases, and it's really cool because it does not take any time at all. Like you might see even 120. When you spend 120, you can make that money back so quick by shopping at Costco, and now you're getting $20 back. So this is no promotion for them or anything. This is just me saying that, yeah, this is a great deal. I really think that this is something you should take advantage of. If you thought about being a Costco membership, this is a good time to do it. So you can get $20 or $10 depending upon which one you choose. So yeah, that is a great deal that's happening right now. And another great deal we have is there's a huge sale on Apple gear right now. So apparently this doesn't happen very often, that Apple has these big deals. So if you're looking to buy some Apple stuff, I think it's available on their website and at like Best Buy and a bunch of other companies. It's not just Apple. Um, but yeah, so you can see they've got like their Apple Watch Series 5 is $100 off. Apple AirPods are 180, so they're $20 off. The iPad's $100 off. HomePod, Power Beat Pro wireless headphones. Those are Beats though. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of discounts here. So if you're interested in buying any Apple stuff, this looks like it's apparently a good time to do it. I'm not sure really what's spurring this. Maybe they're having some difficulties with their bottom line too, and maybe they're actually trying to make some money for themselves too. But yeah, this is a good thing you can do right now if you're looking to buy some stuff with Apple. And I'm sure a lot of people are looking to buy right now because we're just stuck at home, a little bit bored. So yeah, and if you do, remember to use like Ebates and those kind of things because you can stack that stuff on top of this. So you can use those codes or these discounts. A lot of times you can use cashback websites and stuff like that. So good sale going on there. So moving on to Mother's Day, there's some Mother's Day sales going on right now. So this is one that I found was on Groupon. Pro Flowers is giving you 50% off um, code. So this is a $30 value code. You can get it for 15. Again, you can use Ebates on things like Groupon. A lot of times it's like 6% cash back. It could even be more than that. And there's even sometimes extra codes on Groupon. Like if you get it, it might be like a 20% code off of the 15, which makes it even cheaper. I know there's been a lot of times in the past when I've used Groupon to just really save money and where you're just barely paying anything when it comes to the end because you stack all these cash backs and all these other things. So this is a good deal going on right now. I don't know too much about Pro Flowers. They got a 3.5 rating. I think they're nationwide as far as I know. So yeah, if you're looking to send some flowers during this time, that's a good discount there. And then another one, this is one actually I talked about last week a little bit, but just to bring it up again in the actual details of what this offer is, this is canvaspeople.com. They are doing, you can get a free 11 by 14 print, or a free canvas, and so you can see there it says 11 by 14 and it's free. So all you're going to do is pay for shipping and handling. And I think the shipping and handling is like $20. So it's not completely free. You do have to pay 20 bucks. But it does say that it was $98 before. So you're going to save a pretty good amount there by doing that. So I would definitely recommend that for a Mother's Day gift. Can really save you some money. If that thing is really 98 bucks. Now I don't know if this is one of those situations where it's like, it's not usually 98 bucks. It's usually less and they're just going to say it cuz now it's free. But I mean, regardless, if it's only 20 bucks, I know canvas prints can usually be so expensive. So, I think that's a good deal. No matter what the price was before, I think that's still a good deal. So, the next thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is my helpful tip that is a website this week. So I want to talk about Retailmenot.com. There's a lot of stuff right now out. I know Honey is a big website where it's one that will automatically search coupons and stuff. And I haven't really put these two against each other because Retail Me Not is all like manual. There's no automated part of it where you can just search the website. I think, unless there actually is some type of plugin for it. But if you're like me, I like to just do my searches manually anyway. I don't really like to trust it down to just some automated thing. I like to search myself to make sure that there really aren't any other coupon codes that I could be missing. um, so that's why I really like Retail Me Not. And Retail Me Not has been around for a long time. I can't even remember when I started using them, but it was a long, long time ago. So I think they've always been just kind of the top of the business when it comes to finding coupons and deals and stuff, coupon codes and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely recommend retailmenot.com. You can see they've just got tons of websites that are listed on here. And that's probably one of the big things too. Like I said, I don't know how all these other competing websites that are like this are specifically with these type of websites, but I would imagine Retail Me Not probably has like more websites than anybody for coupon codes and stuff because they've just been around for so long. A lot of these other companies haven't been around very long. So what you do is you would just go to their page. They also have an app for this that you could look at, and you would just search. You would click that and search something. So if I wanted to search Pizza Hut, um, it would show me all these coupon codes here. It's going to take a little second. But yeah, so it shows you all the codes here, and you can actually search by online codes or online sales. So codes would be what I want. So like here's one right here. It says large specialty or up to 5 topping pizza for $10.60. And then you hit show coupon code, and it would show you the code that you could put in. It'll also start to open up a link to take you to the website. But one of the things I really like about Retailmenot too is, for one thing, you can submit the coupons. So it's user based. So if you have a coupon, you can submit it to them. And I think that works the best because then they just have a lot of the coupons updated, so they stay on top of it. But also you can see the details of things, and on that you can then see comments and stuff. And it will show you kind of what people are saying about the coupon, and I really like that. And it also shows you how many uses you have today and stuff. But it will show you what people thought of the coupon to tell you, hey, this one is actually expired now, or there's this catch to it that wasn't listed. But usually it's very accurate with the stuff it says. There's not many times where, if it's up here, because these are the codes that are actually good. If you go down far enough, it'll start saying that they're unpopular coupons, and those will be the ones that don't work as well. But I really like the fact that it just really shows you stuff, all the listings, and it can even show you if it's expired or whatever. So it's a really good website. If you don't use coupon codes, I would definitely recommend using retailmenot.com. And one of the big things I really like about their website is that they can really hit some of the obscure sites. Like if there's something you're buying from that has a coupon code bar, definitely take the time to just go over to Retailmenot and search to see if they've got a coupon for you, because some of these obscure sites that really aren't even like that known, they do have, and you might be able to find a coupon. I know there's been times where it's like something where I'm like, there's no way they have this, and I go here and there's like a 15% off coupon or something, and it's just really cool that you can get that sometimes from them. So that's why I say I think they're probably one of the best for websites, that they have the most websites on there. But yeah, check that out. If you're somebody who doesn't use coupon codes, check it out. Trust me, you can save so much more money by doing that. So, moving on to the advice for the week. The thing I want to talk about this week is paying off debt. So, this was an article I came across that's pretty interesting. It's from moneyunder30.com, which is a good site for just giving you advice and help with a whole bunch of different things related to finance. So this is an article by Chris Mueller, and it's 11 ways I paid off $80,000 of debt in just 3 years. And this is something that I really personally care about, because me and my wife are in the middle of paying off our debt right now. So we're always looking for any type of help or advice or anything that we can get on paying off our debt, and ways that we can just get it done quicker, because when you start to hone in on it, there's just, you want to get it done as quickly as possible so that you can finally move on with your life. So that's why I want to talk about this, to see if any of this can give you guys some help with paying off your debt quicker. That would be amazing. So let's go ahead and start off. So number one is that he refinanced. I'm gonna start over. Number one is that he refinanced some credit cards with personal loans. So he talks about how sometimes personal loans can have a better uh, interest rate than what your credit cards would have. If you're somebody who carries credit card balances, that could really help you. And he says if you have a credit score of around 650 or higher or something, you may be able to get a personal loan of up to $35,000 at a lower APR. So yeah, especially if if your debt is in credit cards, this is a good thing to do, is to look into those other options to get personal loans or whatever it is, to try to get those credit card debts done, or just to get rid of those, because the credit card debt is really what is going to pull you down when you're trying to pay off debt. So that would be a very important thing to start with, to make sure that you can get the lowest APR possible, because then you're going to have the lowest amount in the end that you're paying off. So I think that's a great thing there. Number two is that he says he got a second job at Starbucks. And I would say, obviously, this isn't just like, oh, yeah, the advice is go get a job at Starbucks. No, it's just getting a second job, doing whatever you can to bring in more income, is just going to help you with paying off your debt. It's like bailing water out of a sinking ship. You just want the biggest bucket possible to be able to do it. So the more money you make is the bigger the bucket you can get to pay off your debt. So I think anything that you can find, and that can be stuff from not just like W-2 jobs like Starbucks or anything else on the side you can find, but maybe some 1099 contracting jobs like Grubhub or Uber, which Uber is not really something to look into right now, I don't think, as much, but Yeah, just anything that you can find, anything that works out for you to make extra money, that's great. I know a lot of times we have more time at the end of our days, and when you're really honed in on paying off debt, that is a great thing to do, is just to be able to use your time as much as you can to make more money. He then goes on to say number three, that he got paid doing surveys and stuff online. This is something that I would say, if you can find out how to do it, that's amazing. Definitely look into ways that you could do it. I think there's people who are more that can more easily do surveys online and actually get paid for them. If you're kind of in a more minority of something, whether that's like you have a certain health condition, or you're a certain race, or whatever it is, if you have some type of minority thing about you, that actually can help you a lot more with being able to take online surveys. If you're just a very normal person, where there's just like, oh yeah, there's a million people like you, there's not anything that's really that special about your situation. It's harder to do this because they'll usually just decline you, because they're like, oh well, we have 5 billion, not 5 billion, but tons of people to choose from other than you. So they're going to choose those other people. And it's just really hard to get into that. That's been kind of my experience with this. I've tried to do a lot of surveys and stuff, and they just really didn't work for me. I wish they could work. And I even do have some like health things that aren't as normal that I've tried to like see if I can do surveys about that stuff, and it just hasn't worked out. But you can always try this and just see if it works out for you. If it works it out, amazing. It's just another way you can make some extra money. Uh, Number four is, he says he used shopping portals that pay you back for every purchase. So this is exactly what I was just saying. He's talking about Ebates, and Swag Bucks, and there's just a whole bunch of these websites that you can use, and apps and stuff, to then help you save some money on the things you're buying, because obviously there are a lot of things that you're going to have to buy. It When you're trying to pay off debt, it is like pretty impossible to just say I'm going to tighten everything and not spend a dime. You're still going to spend money because things come up, whether that's like Christmas, you're buying gifts for people, or your spouse's birthday, or whatever. There's always going to be things that will come up. You're not going to spend zero. So trying to find the ways to, like I just said, using Retailmenot.com to save money, whether that's using coupons or using cashback. That's going to be a great way to help you keep some of that money from actually going and leaving your pockets. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Ebates, that's a great one. I use that all the time. Ibotta is also a great app that you can use. It's mostly for groceries, so you can get cash back on groceries, but you can also use it for shopping and just a whole bunch of other things. And there's just a ton of these. So just check into that. If you're somebody who doesn't use these at all, definitely check into it, because you can be saving so much money. I know we cash out our Ibotta accounts pretty frequently, maybe like once every month or 2 months, and it can be like a pretty big amount. Like it might be like 50 to $100 every month or 2 months, and that seems kind of small, but at the same time, we just throw that right at our debt every single time. And I'm sure by the end of this, we'll be able to look back and say, man, look at all these extra things that we were able to pay because we were doing that and saving this and getting all this cash back and stuff. So, really recommend that one. I think that's a great idea for helping you to pay off more money on your debt. And number five, he actually talks about credit cards. Now, I know this one, for especially like the Dave Ramsey way, he would be very much against this. Now, I totally agree with this website. Now, it is a little bit different though, because obviously, if you are somebody who has issues with credit cards, don't keep your credit cards. Get rid of them. That is not a good thing for you. If that's really where you're having trouble, then you need to get rid of it, and you need to stop doing that. Stop the bleeding, and then we can start talking about ways that you can make more to pay off your debt, cuz you'll never be able to get out of debt even if you're making more money if you just keep putting yourself into debt. So he says he used cashback credit cards for all his purchases. I do this all the time. It's pretty much all we do is spend money on our credit cards to make sure we're getting the cash back. And we have never carried a balance. I mean, I go in almost every other day and just pay off whatever the balance is whenever it comes in. We don't even get a monthly amount that says that we owe, because almost always I've paid off the amount before the monthly amount even comes to tell us how much we would owe. So you don't have to be that crazy where you're paying it off constantly like we are. But obviously, if you are trying to pay off debt, just be smart about it. Just don't be dumb. If credit cards are causing you a problem, causing you to overspend, then that's a problem. You really need to deal with that. But for the most part, I would say credit cards can be used to use their cash back really well to be able to help you save some money and be able to pay off that debt quicker. Just be smart about it. And again, with this is something too. I would say there's just so many times where me and my wife we get to the end of the month or whatever, and I go and I look at my credit card balance of cash back, and I'm like, there's so much money here that we get to then put towards it. And a lot of times, that Ibotta and the credit card cash back all comes together, and it's like, wow, this is actually like a pretty big payment that we get to put towards our debt because we've been using the cash back the best that we can. So definitely recommend that because that will really help you to pay off your debt quicker. Number six is an interesting one. He says that he sold his unused frequent flyer miles. He actually goes on to say that a lot of airlines don't allow you to do this, or it's actually prohibited. And I guess one of the workarounds that he found was that you're not selling them. There's websites that will actually exchange them for points, and it's like, okay, well, these points can be used for gift cards. So it's kind of a gray area. He even says like it's a risk. So you can decide if you would want to do that or not, or figure out if that's something that makes sense to you. To me, I kind of don't understand as much why you would have a ton of frequent flyer miles, but maybe you travel for work or something. If you have that, I guess this is something you can look into, but of course, make sure that you pay attention to, I guess, some of the risks that could be involved in this. And this article actually is from a year ago, so there could be more risks today. I don't know if things have changed since then or if they've kind of tightened some of the laws on it. But yeah, I would say check into that if you can. That's, I guess, something good that you can do. I've never heard of that, but yeah, it's good to think outside the box and figure out different types of ways that you can save money. So number seven is to get freelancing gigs online. So this is what I was kind of just talking about, where it's just about making more money. Any way that you can make more money is going to be better. So he talks about Amazon's Mechanical Turk. I've never actually tried that. It's something I've wanted to try, but you can do just lots of different things. It says transcribing audio, categorizing images, and other mundane tasks. So yeah, I think a lot of us at the end of the day have a lot of, especially if you work in like a normal 9 to 5 type of job, you might get home and it's like you have a lot of time, especially right now when we're all quarantined. You may have a lot more time to just spend it making more money, but you don't really know where to make more money. This is a great thing you can do to be able to make more money. He also talks about Fiverr and Upwork. Now, I have used Upwork for film editing, and it was a terrible experience. So I don't know, for different types of things, maybe it won't be. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. Maybe it won't be so bad if you're in a different type of industry. But I didn't have a great experience with it. But you could always just try it, see if it works for you, see if you can make some more money. Um, there's a lot of things out there that you can try to make some more money online, and this could also be something like you're just looking for gigs on Craigslist. Sometimes they do gigs. Now that could be a little bit sketchy, so you might want to be careful with that. Facebook also does gigs and stuff that you can pick up. That's a little less sketchy because a lot of times they will be linked to the person's profile. Although I did take some gigs once and it ended up with me having to sue somebody to get paid. So I do recommend that you make sure that you weigh the risk of things and make sure that you're trying to stay safe and actually get people who are trustworthy. And then number eight, he says that he started a business. So he started a business and he had a second job. So this is pretty crazy. This guy is definitely really working hard to pay off his debt, and that's what I hope everyone else would be doing. But yeah, you could start a business. So I've already talked about this a lot for this time during quarantine, especially if you have some type of art or like you like to sew or you like to knit. There's so many things you can do. You could start an Etsy store. You can sell on Facebook. Facebook's a little strange right now with maybe getting it to people if they're worried about spreading things. But for the most part, if you have anything that's like that, like making something, maybe it's like woodworking or who knows, anything that's like that, just hands on stuff, you could start a business right now for. Etsy or Facebook. That's definitely something I would recommend, and that's a good way that you can make some extra money to pay off debt. Again, it's just about getting a bigger bucket and bringing in as much money as you can, closing out your expenses, increasing your income. That's what's going to really help you. So number 9, he says he got a roommate. Now this is definitely a weird one for this time, but yeah, if you can get a roommate, that would be great to be able to cut your expenses if you're living alone or you have more space in the place that you're living. Obviously, making sure that you get a roommate that you can trust, that's not going to be scary or steal from you or whatever. But yeah, getting a roommate is a great idea. Actually, there was a time when me and my wife actually lived with my best friend, and it was just for a short time, but that was a great time for us because we got to cut our expense of our living expense. And it was definitely something weird where you wouldn't think, as a married couple, you're ever going to get that chance, but it came up, and we were actually able to save some money doing that. Helped us to save more money to be able to pay off our debt. So maybe even, even when you think it might not work out, sometimes those opportunities come up. So just be looking for those opportunities, maybe ways you can save more money. um, Number 10, he talks about how he fired his bank. And this is something that I hope people would realize themselves, that if you're getting charged fees from your banks, or he talks about how he got hit with an overdraft fee of $35 a, a pop because he was living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I totally understand that. There was actually a time when I had a bank account that was linked to my PayPal because I ran my eBay business through PayPal, and my PayPal ran out of money, and it actually started pulling from my bank, and it pulled like one charge of like $10, and then the other ones were like in the cents. It was like 20 cents or something, and like 70 cents. And this was a while back. This was like 6 or 7 years ago or something. And it actually charged me $35 every single transaction, even the ones that were 20 cents and 70 cents. So that was pretty crazy that they did that. I actually switched banks. That was my decision. So he says he switched to a totally free checking account, Capital One 360, which actually I've had myself, and they have overdraft line of credit rather than overdraft fees. And I switched to Chase, and they have overdraft protection, so that gives you a 24-hour period that if you do overdraft, you can put money in and be safe from those overdraft fees. I love that they have that. It was so nice because it's so stupid sometimes when it's like, okay, well maybe you just lost track of something. This is before I even budgeted. I just lost track of kind of what was going on, and it was through my business, so I wasn't expecting all that to happen. So yeah, it's a good thing just to make sure anything that's pulling fees from you or whatever, especially if you have a bank account that isn't free. Definitely find one that's free because there are just so many free bank accounts these days. You don't need to be paying money for a bank account. So number 11, he says, I sold my crap. Now, that is a great one. And me and my wife have definitely done that. Just before we actually moved to Greenville when we lived in Ohio, actually, we moved to New York for a time when my wife was there on work. And then we moved here. We sold like everything. We sold like all of our furniture, just a ton of stuff because we were going to be living in New York. So it was a different thing. But also, when we got here and finally settled down, into an apartment again where we had to furnish it, we really just haven't bought much. We've really just kind of like kept things as low as possible. And it's been a weird time. Like our couch right now is from a friend, and it is terrible. I literally have to sit on a pillow because the couch is awful. But you know what? It means that we don't have to pay that money right now, and that has really helped us to just keep pushing forward. And I would even recommend, if you sell a lot of the stuff, not just selling your crap, but maybe just selling, the things that can bring some money in to be able to pay off debt, even if it's something that you want to have. It can kind of be an encouragement to you to keep working so hard to pay off the debt, because you might be living in like my situation with the couch. We're kind of living in a crappy situation where our couch is really uncomfortable, but it keeps pushing me towards paying off the debt because I'm like, okay, this couch is uncomfortable. I want to like get to a point where I can have a better couch, or a better whatever it is. And we can keep working towards that point, and it really helps, so that I'm sure in the time that we get our debt paid off, one of our first things we want to do is then buy a couch. And I think that couch is just going to feel so much nicer to us, knowing we worked so hard to get to this point, and we lived on these crappy couches and all these other things we had for so long. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Sell your stuff, anything that you really have that's of value. Just if you can get by without it, or you can get by with something that's not as good a quality or whatever, just sell it so that you can get this done as quickly as possible, and then you'll actually be able to use the money that is your money once you are out of debt. That's not going to be something that you own when you're owing somebody else something. It's just going to make you feel a lot better. So yeah, in the summary here is getting out of debt isn't easy, but with some hustle and creative thinking, you can pay off your debt faster than you think. And yeah, I this is just one list of things from somebody who said that they did these types of things to get out of debt. But I would say getting out of debt really involves a lot of creativity. Just nobody's going to be like you. Nobody's going to get out of debt the way that you do. Take advantage of all the opportunities you have around you to be able to make more money, to be able to save money. There's just a lot of ways, or, watch things like this show, for instance. This is something that might help motivate you to get out of debt or give you some ideas for ways that you can save money or get things for free or whatever. Just trying to stay open to those things to try to keep yourself so you're spending as little as possible and making as much as possible will really help you get out of debt quickly. So that's what I would say about that. I think this is a great article, and just really helps you to get out of debt quickly. So that is actually what I've got for the show today. There wasn't a ton today. It actually feels like every week I do this, there's like less news that I have to talk about just because of quarantine and everything. It's kind of a strange time with there's just nothing happening. Even with Cinco de Mayo that just happened, it's been I tried to find like funny Cinco de Mayo stories or anything that happened about Cinco de Mayo. I found like nothing. So it's definitely a strange time for things, and hopefully as the show goes on and things start to open up, there will be some more news and more funny news, and just whatever. But something I do want to talk about is it looks like, I know in South Carolina here, we are actually starting to open up. I think right now restaurants that have outside seating are open, and I think there are some caps to that. So it looks like there is some good news that the country is starting to kind of open back up. I know my brother in Tennessee said that they can actually sit inside their restaurants. They just have caps on how many people can be in there. So things are starting to open up. So I think things are looking up, positive. Um, so I would just give you guys encouragement to keep uh, being excited. I guess I should give you guys the full cam view. Sorry, I'm still sticking you on this. But yeah, I would just keep telling you guys to try to be positive during this time, and look for anything you can do during this time to save money, make more money, whatever it is, because I think it really is rapidly coming to an end here where things are going to be back to normal. And I know I've been saying this the whole time to try to take advantage of every situation you're in. So right now, this is the situation we're in. So, try to take advantage of the things that you can do now, that once things go back and you're back at work and friends are coming back, and like you've got family reunions and just all these things happening. And I'm sure it's going to pick up like crazy because everyone's going to want to get back into things. But yeah, just try to take advantage of this time. Try to find the ways that you can look back and say, hey, I used this time for my advantage, and it really has helped me, get to whatever the point is at the end. That's just a little bit of advice. I've been saying that like every single time I do something, but that's really what I think, because, this is just a different time. Something I really hope and I don't think we'll ever experience again. So that's kind of what I think about that. But I did just get Ohio is still in timeout, so I got that in the chat there. So I guess Ohio hasn't changed much, but I think things are coming to change. But yeah, that's what I've got for you guys today. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching the fourth stream. It's been a month now. Excited that this is a month of streams. Really excited to hit that point. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And next week, actually, I think I will have to be moving my stream because I will be leaving on Wednesday. So I think my stream will be on Tuesday, but I'll put that stuff up so you can catch up with that. I'll have it all scheduled so you can check that out. But yep, that's what's going on. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate it.